All right, let's start to bring it down. Right leg is going to lift, breathe in. Lizard pose, step your right foot outside your right hand and press the left heel back for a moment here and let it be a strong lizard and hug your right knee in towards your shoulder. All right, so let's find the stability first in the pelvis. Think about both thigh bones suctioning up into the bone. And then let's go passive. Drop your left knee down, point your left toes back, curl your chest open. You can be on fingertips here. You can put blocks under the hands again. And stay here for a moment and feel the pelvis descend. And keep hugging your inner right hip inwards. And then those that want to add a bind, bend your left knee and reach your right hand back for your foot, and then kick. All right, if this isn't for you, you'll just keep both hands on the ground and you'll stay in that basic lizard. Use the kick here to spiral the chest open and then press your left hand down so this shoulder lifts up a little more rather than just sinking in and chilling, right? So press down into the heel of the left hand so that the chest stays lifted and the shoulders are broad. And then let the foot go, passive lizard. Come onto your forearms. Let the head go. And again, here, if blocks under the forearms feel good, then you'll do that. And then see how heavy the pelvis can get. And then try not to let the right knee drop out. Keep the right knee sturdy and press into the inner arch of your front foot. Breathe fully into that space between the shoulder blades. Breathe even more into the right hip. Feel the right glute stretch. Feel the right IT band. So many things happening in this shape. Wonderful. Walk your hands in to lift the chest. Tuck your back toes. Down dog split. Bend your right knee, side scorpion, pigeon. From here, swing your right knee wide of the right hip, set it down. And if you need to set a block, a blanket, a pillow under the right hip so that you're elevated, and that's what you'll do, right? You'll have support here. If you have more mobility and you can let the right hip drop to the ground, then that's where you'll go. And so what we don't want here is to roll completely onto one side, right? So it doesn't look like this. We want the hips neutral, pointing forward, and then you can fold your way down. So if using a pillow or a rolled blanket or towel under your right hip allows you to do that, then take the support and it'll be much more beneficial of a shape. Press the left hip point down, press into the top of the left thigh, press in the top of the left toes. Energetically hug your right knee back. It's not going to actually move, but it might help you redistribute the weight evenly between both sides of the hips. And then just melt here for a moment in pigeon and really take several breaths to allow your body to be welcomed into the shape. Your attention in the shape is definitely on the breath, watching it travel around, seeing if you can control it by stretching it, elongating it, extending it. Beautiful. One more full breath in. Even longer breath out. Walk your hands in to lift up through the chest. Swing your left leg around. You're going to take your left ankle to the top of the right knee for a double figure four, fire log pose. Move your bottom ankle forward so it's directly under the top knee. This can be a really intense shape, so you can also elevate the seat here, right, so that you're higher up. You can sit on a block, you can sit on a blanket, you can sit on a pillow. And then make sure that your shins here form one line. Fingertips behind you to lift. If this already feels like a very intense hip stretch, which it may for many of us, you're going to stay here. If you feel like you can go further, then belly first, then heart. Maybe if this is as far as you go, maybe you can drop your forearms completely. Elbows in front of both shins. Press the shins into the forearms, or into the triceps rather, and then drop your head. It's also known as double pigeon. Flex both feet very deeply here. So curl the toes up into the shins. You'll feel it in your glutes, feel it in your IT band. You're going to feel it everywhere. You're going to feel a lot of things in this shape. Close your eyes and let go of control for a moment and just let the body settle in. All right, but if any time there's pain, then you'll come out of it. Especially in these deep hip stretches, requires several breaths to really get into it, right? To ease your way in and feel like you can take that moment where you finally feel like you've arrived. See where you can relax the muscles. Notice if you're tensing up and resistant to the shape. Amazing. For me, this one feels just so, feels like a lot of things. So I just love staying in this shape for a long time. So if you need longer, you'll stay, but moving along, lock your fingers back in. Soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana, knees wide. Sit up tall and then fold, right? And it may only get here, and then you can settle your hands. You can go further onto the forearms. You can go completely down, great. Let the outer edges of your feet press against one another. Let the soles of the feet open like a book today. Knees are heavy. Feel the external rotation of the thigh bones. Let the back of the neck release as the head dips down. Gorgeous. Lift back up. Cross your shins, plant your palms, walk or jump your way back. If you need a vinyasa between the sides, take it. If you don't need it, come right into your down dog with me. Final side, left leg rises. Step it wide, lizard pose. Active first, press the right heel back. Keep the chest lifted. Hug the left knee in towards the shoulder. Spread your fingers wide. And then drop your right knee down, point the right toes, curl your chest open, let the pelvis descend a bit more. You can stay here, or if you want to add on the twist, bend your back knee and reach back for the foot. Take that. And even here, hug your left hip back into the midline. Don't let it pop out too far to the left side. Have a strong kick of your right foot. Press the heel of your right hand down into the mat more so that your right shoulder lifts off of the wrist. Feel the belly stretch open from the twist. And then let the foot go, everybody. Come onto your forearms or set blocks under your forearms first. And take the folded passive variation. Squeeze your thighs up into the pelvis. Hug your left knee in. Anchor down into the left big toe. Press your right elbow down more so that the weight doesn't collapse into the right shoulder, and then the shoulder doesn't collapse into the right elbow. So here it feels like a twist of the belly twisting towards the mat, right? Where it might naturally want to twist towards the left because of the bent left knee. So let's counter that by twisting belly towards the mat, pointing down. Good. Walk your hands back in. Tuck your back toes. Down dog split. Left leg high. Bend your left knee for a side scorpion for a moment. And then pigeon. Swing your left knee forward, wide of the left hip. So behind the left wrist or further wider. And then drop the hip down. Find if you need some cushioning under the left hip here to elevate. So again, the right hip point comes down. It's not splaying open. We're not rocking all the weight onto the left knee. And maybe some of us, we're staying upright. That's a great place to stop, right? Maybe it's a little lower. If you can go all the way, then go for it. press more weight onto the front of the right leg, like the entire front of the thigh, front of the shin, front of the ankle, top of the foot could connect and seal down into your mat. Shift some of the weight from the left hip into the right so that it feels like a more equal distribution. Let the eyes closed and then start seeing with the third eye again as you observe what the bones and the skin and the muscles are doing, and observe where the spirit and the breath fits into all of that system that our body has set up to support us. Every breath drops you a little deeper into yourself. And from the external shell, it may not look like any change, but it's internal shifts that we're looking for the most in this practice. Good. Walk your hands in, lift the chest, swing your right leg around, right ankle, top of the left knee, scooch it forward, or left ankle rather, under the right knee, right? So everything is stacked, right? So it's not like this, it's stacked. And flex both feet. If you need to sit up on something, elevate. That'll help you get more spacious and it'll be a little bit more comfortable. Flex both feet here, fingertips behind you. And again, if this already feels like a lot, you're just going to stay here and you're still getting an amazing stretch. Maybe you walk your hands forward a little and maybe this is enough and you'll just settle here. Maybe you can go a little further. Find your sweet spot, find your stopping point. This shape looks very different for every body. Keep both feet flexing though. Keep curling those toes in like little hooks. Take several deep breaths here to let the body draw down into the shape. Relax the muscles in the face here. Notice if you're gripping the jaw again. Are you clenching into your teeth? If so, relax. See if on every breath out, you might feel the heart drop in a little more towards the shins. Maybe the back of the neck releases a bit more. Maybe the eyebrows could even soften fully. So good. Walk your hands in. Almost there, guys. Soles of the feet together once again here, but this time let's make a big diamond, right? So let there be, for me, it's about 1.5 feet, but I have really short legs, so adjust as you need to, right? So it's a true diamond shape here of the legs. Tadasana, hands under the calves to the top of the feet, and then fold. Drop the head in. Scoop up the belly, puff up the back ribs, right? So unlike Baddha Konasana that we took on the other side, where the heels were much closer towards the seat, here the heels are much further from the seat, so we're getting more into the outer hips and into the glutes. Baddha Konasana earlier was more about the inner hips. This final fold and bow, this sign of devotion into yourself, this commitment to your own journey and your inner observation, commitment to this practice, but the practice is really here to serve you. But it's up to you to commit back to it so that you can receive all the gifts of these tools in this wonderful journey of yoga. Observe the sensations in the body. Feel the gratefulness to be able to feel these sensations and the ability again for your body to move as you've instructed it to. Okay, release your hands out from underneath. Come onto your back side. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock it a bit side to side. Feel the back massage into the ground. Final shapes of your choice if you need something. Right? If you need a twist, if you need a back bend, if you need any final hip openers, go ahead and take those. But when you're ready, Shavasana. Come to lay completely on your back. Legs are long. Legs are at least mat's width. Arms are long next to the torso. Let there be space between the sides of the trunk and the biceps so everything gets to breathe, right? Let all the air circulate and cleanse through. Let the heat of your body release out. Eyes closed. Shut out the external world. Go in the most beautiful journey to the internal world where all the good things happen. And palms are facing up so that you get to release what you don't need and you get to receive what you do. Separate your back teeth from one another so the jaw releases completely. Relax the eyebrows. Relax the forehead. Relax the cheeks. Relax the ears, the back of the neck. Feel the entire foundation of the skeletal system just get heavy into the ground. Notice if your back body is still trying to prop up your front body. Right? Think about that for a moment. And what would it feel like if you could just let the front body collapse down into the back body? And then what if your back body could collapse down into this ground, which is here to support you? And then what if you could just let everything dissolve into nothingness? So all that remains is the spirit and the breath, the energy, all those things that circulate throughout the physical vessel. And then commit into the stillness here for these final few moments. Just a few moments a day of stillness, allowing ourselves to get to know ourselves, right? Put a mirror up to our own faces and we're asked to observe. It's really can be quite uncomfortable, but it's intended to allow us to stop telling ourselves false stories, stop lying to ourselves about whatever it is. Get to know yourself and get to love yourself fully. If you need to stay in your Shavasana, then you'll stay here for as long as you need. If you're coming with me out of it, move your fingers, move your toes. Take a full breath in through the nose as slowly as you can and as much as you can. Fill up, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Hold all that breath in. Big sigh out through the mouth. Let it go, let all of it go. Step your feet back into the mat. So rebend your knees one at a time. Soles of the feet plant down. Stand down into the ground. Stretch your arms long overhead. Reach in opposite directions. Stretch as much as you can here so the chest reopens. And then just tilt over onto your right side. You're cradling yourself in a fetal position. And hug yourself and hold yourself and love yourself. And then hands to the ground to help push you back up to sit. Come back up, find your comfortable cross-legged seat. It's called Sukhasana. And we've arrived And right away, draw your hands to prayer at the center of your chest and pause here for a moment and feel the gratitude to your body and thank it for doing so much that you ask of it each day. And notice how it feels different now that you've put it through the practice. And notice what has shifted in this seat from the seat that we took together at the beginning of the practice. And witness the magic and the gifts and effects of the yoga practice. Full breath in for Om, the sound of beginning, middle, and end. Inhale. Om. Pray up to your third eye. Everything restarts again here. Fold it down. Namaste, yogis. Right back up. Gorgeous, gorgeous work, everyone. As always, thank you so much for joining me in the practice. Hope that you're staying committed. And if you veer off from your practice, it's okay. Come back to it when you're ready. I'm doing the same thing. It's not a straight line practice.